Do you need to sleep train in a tight space, maybe a shared bedroom or a condo or a home that you share with others? You are definitely not alone. I have exactly the things you can do to help make your sleep training journey go as smooth as possible when you're in tight quarters. We also have a podcast episode and a blog on this very topic if you want to listen or follow a listen along, whatever works for you. This video will be very to the point so that you can implement some of these things as soon as you're ready. With my first baby, we were in a high rise and we had a lot of opinionated neighbors, and above us was the assistant super. And I remember feeling really nervous about sleep training because my baby was up every 90 minutes for 9 months. It was brutal. And I remember thinking, there's no way people in this building are going to sleep through this baby upset because was always so fast to respond to him. And I was really nervous. And even now, when I work in home with parents who are struggling with sleep training, maybe there's lots of family in the house or they're in a tight condo space or sharing a home with others, they have to navigate not only sleep training, which can be hard on its own, but also the opinions or even their perception of opinions from others. That can be tricky to navigate, right? So what can we do to really help this? To start, confidently make your decision. I'm going to make changes for my baby or for my child. Yes, it's going to be disruptive. It could be loud. It could be different for everyone. And this is going to be a crummy few nights. And you can tell people that if you want, depending on what the dynamic is in your home. We're making this choice for our little one. It's going to be different. Here's what you can do to prepare for it. Maybe you need earplugs. Maybe you need to turn on a fan or white noise in your room to help block out the noise. And just give me a little bit of grace to be understanding that this is a temporary thing, all for the sake of getting our baby to sleep longer stretches, which, as we know, is the best thing for them. Next, define the space your baby will be sleeping in. If that's a nook in your room, maybe a corner in your room, all you're going to do is make that a designated space. Have a surface for your child, however, depending on how old they are, will dictate what type of bassinet, crib, that sort of thing. But have a designated space for them. If you have the space and can, try to have a bit of a visual barrier that can sometimes be maybe a taller dresser is between one bed and the other, or just having some type of partition. If you want to be able to see your baby and your baby to see you, just have the crib or the bassinet right beside the bed there, right nice and close. But if you want a bit of separation, you can have some sort of visual divide there. That's okay too. Always number one, as you know, anyone who's watching this and we've been to your home, you know we're next level about checking anything in the room that could be a safety risk. So we want the crib to be as low as we can. We don't want any cords hanging over, any clutter in the crib. We want it to be completely in line with Health Canada's safe sleep guidelines. We like to have the room as dark as we can. So this room would be a fail that I'm in. It's very bright. We want a nice dark room. We want some white noise or a fan going, nothing too loud and nothing right beside baby's head, hopefully across the room if we can. And this is to help drown out those household and neighborhood noises that tend to be a little more intense, especially when you are living in close quarters. So we're thinking, okay, this baby's sleep space is safe. It's dark. We have some white noise. The temperature's feeling good, somewhere between 22 degrees Celsius. And we're making sure that we have all the typical things we need for a good bedtime routine. A book, pajamas, sleep sack, all these things that we need to help create a nice cozy sleep environment for them. Next, we create a predictable routine that's maintainable long term. So let me share this example. If you have multiple children and you're trying to create a perfectly calm, zero sound zen space for your baby to find sleep, that's really hard to recreate night over night if you have toddlers coming in the room or a crazy dog jumping through the door in the bedroom like I did at my clients last night, actually. And so you have to be ready for these things, right? So create a routine that works well for you. And if that means everyone's bathing together, we do one family, shower, whatever that happens, or we have one meal that segues into bedtime, thinking of what do I want my future weeks to look like? We're going to create that starting now when we bring in these new changes. Choose and confidently commit to a sleep training technique that feels right for you. Now, most people do feel some level of nerves around sleep training because it's different, it can feel unusual, and sometimes we're worried about what others will say, right? I know that was certainly the boat that I was in. Depending on your relationship with your household members who live there or your neighbors, you could give a heads up if that feels right for you. I don't remember actually what we did, or if I did say to the neighbor, I think I might have said, heads up, we're sleep training, it's going to be a little loud, and they were gracious and didn't care. We don't always get neighbors like that though, right? Sometimes they do have a lot to say about it. And just like with any neighborhood courtesy, I think it's okay to share this if you want, or if anyone has anything to say about it, try to let it just roll off your shoulders, because again, you're doing what works well for your baby and for your family. and for you. We have a full podcast episode and blog on this very topic, the things that you can do to help prepare yourself to sleep train in tight spaces. Room sharing with your baby is no reason to delay sleep training. You absolutely can bring in new sleep hygiene and sleep techniques, even if your baby's in the same room as you. You don't need a big house and multiple bedrooms to have great sleep. It's really about creating the ideal space, fantastic timing, and the same routine and boundaries every single time, night over night. Your baby will get it in no time. And as always, if you need help, you can reach out to us and book us 24/7 at betterbedtime.ca. Have a great day and night.